Oh yeah, pipe smokers. Yeah, happy Wednesday. Yeah. And this is the Paul Gilson YouTube channel. I'm actually on the side of my house today. You can see that's the side of my house there. All the way over here, there's the chimney for the wood-burning fireplace I have. Yeah, just a nice little spot here. So yeah, happy Wednesday. It's the 2nd of July, 2025. Yeah, so let's have a Wednesday night smoke together. So you know how it goes. Yeah, grab your favorite pipe, grab your favorite blend. Yeah, Paul the Pipe Guy. Yeah, live from Rochester, New York on Winchester Street. Oh yeah. So it's 85 degrees outside, a little humid, full sun, just beautiful. The sun's right up there. And I have a Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Yep, some PBR here. So cheers. And we have our Rhodesia pipe, gorgeous pipe, absolutely stunning, flawless briar. And that's filled with some Sutliff blend number 5, which I don't believe you can get anymore. Sutliff blend number 5, yeah, there it is, right there. And that 10 date on that was 10/20 of 2023, which makes it almost 2 years old. So let's start something on fire. We got a little bit of a nice breeze coming through here, so you got to turn this way. Nice. That's good. Yeah, so I had a regular well doctor's visit today. My physician, she's like, "You're not wheezing anymore." And I said, "No." Said, "Actually, when I went to move out, I noticed that there was a lot of white mold in my bedroom because it sat on a concrete slab. It was like a split level. It sat on a concrete slab. There was no vapor barrier under the carpet or the tile or anything. So there was a lot of things that had white mold on them, which you can clean off, but that'll make you wheeze. You know, I'm sleeping in that every night." My blood pressure was 120/78, which is like right where you want it. Oxygen level was great. Resting heart rate was 77, which is normal, but mine normally is lower because I stay in shape. I just run in from the car into the doctor's office. I'm walking around, and they, took my heart rate right away. Normally it should be around, my heart rate's pretty low, around 72 beats per minute. Resting heart rate. When I was a teenager and I used to run cross country, long distance running, my heart rate was in the mid 50s. because, you know, I was young and in excellent shape. But anything in the 70s or 80s is good. If you're a 60-year-old guy, uh, I've dropped some weight, probably about 20 pounds. I had gotten down to 170 about 2 years ago, and that was way, way too light for me. I started losing muscle mass. What I did is I cut all red meat out of my diet, all fats out of my diet. I was eating nuts, granola, eggs, but no cheese, no red meat, none of that stuff. And my body doesn't like that. So I got down to 170, and I'm 6 foot tall. So today I weighed in at 200, fully clothed. So 195. So, you know, my ultimate weight, and, you know, I mean, I've got some muscle mass, okay? I mean, there's some muscle mass there, all right? And I don't work out. I work at work. That's how I get that. I'm not bragging or anything, but I could lose just a tiny bit of belly fat. My ultimate nice, perfect weight is around 180, 185. And, you know, and so we'll get there. We kind of veered off my diet. You guys that watch my channel regularly, it's like, yeah, I think I'm going to make a couple cheeseburgers for dinner. It's nice, quiet, and peaceful on my street. I love this neighborhood, and I love this house. You know, and I got a great deal on it, which is surprising in this market. But that's what happens when God works in your favor. All of a sudden, you stumble across something that you can get well below market value. Sometimes, you know, I got the house for 125, and then they had to put almost $7,000 into plumbing stuff that my realtor caught. You know, they had to replace the whole water main line from the house to the road because it had a leak. They had to replace part of the sewer system pipe in the basement, and then I closed on the house, and then afterwards I found I had to spend $800 and have the double tanks that the washer drains into busted out, and all new plumbing and everything put in for that. So, but I had already closed on the house, so that was on me. I wasn't going to go back on the seller for that. They had already spent enough, and they were fair with me. And the house appraised for $150,000. You know, it's brand new on the inside. Brand new. House was built in 1910. You guys that saw my covered porch, I mean, my porch is fully enclosed with windows and screens. So I can open those windows up and just have screens. I can open the windows and the screens up if I want to. And then it's just like a full open porch if I wanted to do that, you know. Somebody commented, I'm trying to remember who it was. I've read so many comments, and there's been so many comments. I've just done a like and a heart, you know, but I'm going to start responding back. They were like, how cool will that front porch be when there's a huge thunderstorm, sitting out there smoking a pipe, making a video, watching the storm, or in the wintertime during a winter storm. It'll be great. I've been very blessed by the Lord. very, very fortunate. And I am grateful. And this pipe and this blend just smokes so good. Sutliff blend number 5. Yeah. Sutliff blend number 5. Yep, that's what it is. I don't even know if it's available anymore. Blend number 5 by Sutliff. So I go into the doctor's office and she looks at my hair and she's like, have you been working outside? Your hair has like gotten blonde. And what I did is I hadn't had a haircut in a while and it was wintertime, and then I got my hair cut shorter, and then working outside here and taking my breaks at work outside, my hair bleaches out real quick. When I was a kid, my hair was almost white. I was a towhead. This is so good. Oh, man. On for a little taste of beer, a little sip of some Pabst Blue Ribbon. Cheers, everyone. Mark Hill, Welsh Piper 62. I found your stuff that I need to send you. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm talking about. So we'll get that out next week for you. The backy and then some other little surprises that you're going to love. Thank you for being patient, Mark. I still have 2 pipes I have to send out. One is to Paul Geraci, Searchlight Piper. He was like, oh, just forget about it. I was like, no, I'll find it. It's in a box somewhere. I'll find it and I'll get it to you. I had sent him, he had purchased 4 pipes, and somehow one of them in the mail snapped in half. I packed it pretty good, so I've been needing to replace that. And then there's one other gentleman that bought a pipe, and then I couldn't find the thing. So I've got your text message with your address. We get all that stuff out to you guys as soon as I can unpack a little more and find it. Everything's in boxes and piles. I don't rip anybody off. If somebody, you know, has something that shows up that's been damaged, and I tell them, look, I'll replace it, you know, I'm going to do that. These guys have been patient with me, but it's like I was under extreme stress. I mean, so much stress where, you know, after my landlord, my ex-landlord, oh, that sounds so good. After my ex-landlord told me I had to be out in 60 days, I started packing, and I didn't get the stuff out. So guys, I apologize, you know. But Paul the Pipe Guy always makes it right. And anybody else that's done business with me, when you buy a pipe, you get it right away. I've got some videos I'm going to be doing on my Kaywoodie collection because I'm going to sell them at a good cost. They're going to be like right around the $60 to $80 mark, maybe some of them $100, but every one that I'm going to show is going to be a straight up deal, and I've got like 60 of them. But it's time to move that collection on. Buying this house cost me a lot more than I thought it was. You know, probably about 30% more than I thought it would cost me as far as closing costs. So it's time somebody else gets some enjoyment from my mint Kaywoodie collection. And if anybody's interested in my entire Kaywoodie collection, I have between 50 and 60 of them. They range from like 1928 to the 60s, but they're all in great shape. Some of them are a bit rare. There's no really super rare pipes. Well, there are, but I've got some really hard to find Kaywoodie pipes that are mint. If somebody is interested and they're like, I want to buy the whole collection, I'd probably let them go for like $3,000 for all of them. For like between 50 and 60 pipes. If you bought them all, you'd get them for like $50 a piece, which is half of what, if I averaged out the value of each one, it'd be about half of what they're really worth if you were to buy them off of eBay. So if somebody's got $3,000, I take credit cards on PayPal. We can FaceTime. You got to be in the United States, though. You got to be in the U.S. We can FaceTime, and we can go through each one individually. I'll show you everything. We can spend an hour on FaceTime looking at my pipes. If you got 3,000 and you want to buy 50 or 60 Kaywoodie pipes that are just pristine. And like I said, you could put it on a credit card. I take PayPal. You can just, all right. I'd rather sell them all in a bunch than individually, but I'll be showing some of them. Well, we've gone on for over 17 minutes now. I don't have internet, probably won't for another 2-3 weeks, so it's going to take about an hour to an hour and a half to upload. If somebody's interested in my Kaywoodie pipes, put a message in the comment section. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy, live from Rochester, New York on Winchester Street, my house. Dedicated to the Lord. Yeah. Over and out.